Hello everyone, I'm Helen Elliston and I'd like to introduce you to my latest book, Colorist's Special Effects. Now this is something different. I've done quite a number of colouring books in the past, Inky Ocean, Inky Whimsy, Inky Theatrical Faces, lots of different themes, but this is not your standard colouring book, as some of you will be aware. It is full of step-by-step guides to help you to colour items that are commonly found in a variety of adult colouring books. So for example, mushrooms, there are lots of gems, how to do backgrounds. So I'm going to do a bit of a flip through, show you some of the pieces in the book that I've coloured in as examples, and maybe do a bit of shading and blending. So let's get to it. So here we have the cover. And on the back cover, some of the items that are inside the book. Obviously I couldn't fit them all on the cover. Okay, so here is just the introduction and the index, so this lists everything on it. Now here we go into shading, and some people know how to shade, some people have trouble getting the hang of it. So here I explain how to shade, different ways of moving your pencil, a bit about burnishing, and on this page here is blending, but I think we will come back to that. I'll show you the rest of the book. Once you've mastered blending and shading, then colouring with pencils is a whole lot easier and more fun, because you can mix different colours together, have light and dark. So here we have 3D spheres, which you can then transfer over to items like a cherry, or you could transfer the idea of that. Obviously the light source is coming from this direction to other sphere shapes like apples. Presents, this is a box, how to shade a box, which can be applied then to a present, which you'll find in lots of Christmas colouring books. So here we move on to realistic eyes. Okay, this is hair, lips, skin tone section. So I've got step by step of how to create the eyes. I've done it digitally because I felt it would be easier for you to distinguish one colour, one shade from the next. And here you can see this is where I have coloured it in pencil myself and photographed it and put it in the book. This also, if you want to add the teardrops, you can do, and this shows you how to do it, but I think that's really quite effective. But you know, a technique like the teardrops you could apply to other ideas in other books. Glistening eye glints make a huge difference. So I've got different ways of doing them, and use white gel pen, but you can use white gel pen, white jelly roll, a Posca white pen, which is at the moment one of my favourites. Lips, how to make lovely glossy lips. Clear lens glasses and sunglasses, with a cute little cat on that lens. Skin tone, this is skin tone's, you know, not easy to do. It's a case of tickling each colour and getting a really good balance, and also, I mean, you can follow the step by steps, but also judging it as you go. Have you done that colour too dark, too light? But I have practice areas. Some are on the pages and some are after them. So here you can look at the skin tone and try it out. It's all, you know, it's all about practice, but enjoying it as well. Hair strands, how to do individual flicks with pencils. Vibrant hair, which I think looks great on some colouring pages. You know, we don't have to stick with normal colours of a brunette or a blonde. Go for something mad, wild, pink and blue hair. Practice pages, so you can practice your glasses and lips and hair and eyes on here. Then we move into, if I still got this in shot, yes. Nature, so this is running water drops on leaves. The reason they're in green is because water drops are clear, so on a leaf it would be green, but you can translate that onto another. If you're putting a water drop on a brown leaf, then do it in brown shades. And you can practice here. So you can actually read it, follow it, and practice on the page. We've got air bubbles and a beautiful shiny butterfly. I've already seen on a Facebook group somebody's done this one and posted it, and I couldn't actually tell the difference from hers to mine. She did an amazing job. Red rose with options at the end for adding water drops or a frosted edge. Daisies, flower highlights. This is clouds. There are lots of clouds in adult colouring books which are drawn in, and people don't really always know what to do with them and how to make them, you know, look better in the page. So this hopefully you'll find helpful. If you wanted to, you could practice on that. Coloured pencils are absolutely fine in this paper, and some fine liners are as well. I wouldn't advise Sharpies unless there's something behind that you don't mind, in case it did, you know, in case it goes through. And then we have glossy mushrooms. There are loads of red spotted mushrooms in colouring books, and this one is multicoloured because we've got purples and pinks and yellow in there. And this is a photograph of one that I coloured myself, and yeah, I really like all the different colours that are in there. And then we've got soap bubbles, two kinds. One, if it was on a black background, where you can use these neon gel pens, which, you know, obviously is very bright and vibrant. And this one is if you're want to put a bubble over you know, an image. So it shows you all the steps to do. I mean, some of these, you know, practice in the book, practice on scrap paper before you go and try something like a soap bubble on your masterpiece you've spent hours colouring, because, you know, some things are easy, some things are tricky, and also people learn at their own pace. There's no rush, there's no competition here. Fairy wings. These are translucent, I'd call magical fairy wings, or just one way that you can do fairy wings, but I think the overall effect is quite beautiful. Some practice of what we've just been through, apart from that one, which is, have we been through that? No. So then we go on to bows, and you've got lots of bows here. You can try the ideas. It's actually really simple, but it's one of those things. It sounds simple, but, you know, sometimes it's helpful for people to have steps to help them know what to do. Wine glass. Balloons. I love colouring balloons. They're not easy to do, but hopefully in my steps people will be able to, you know, get the hang of balloons, because there are colouring pages with lots of balloons in. I've certainly put some in some of my books. A fiery dress, and here we have a page, and actually I've got, is it this one I coloured in? Right. This is a page in the book that you can practice on. It's blank on the other side. If you use pens for anything, I would say put a sheet underneath. And also, really, it's a good idea even if you use pencil, because if you press hard, you don't want to make impressions on the next page. So just to show you, this is what I coloured in the same page. So all these elements, well, 99%, you will find techniques of how to do, or step-by-step guides of how to do inside the book. So there we go, the balloons, the fiery dress, the mushroom we've passed, and some of these we'll get to in a moment. So on we go. Okay, a golden crown. Gold is hard to do, and again, it's like skin tone, one of those things that you keep practicing and tweak it, and, you know, you will get there. Glowing candles. Again, more practice pages with blank on the back. Lanterns. I've seen so many colouring books with lanterns in, so it's nice to know how to get the glow effect. And, you know, you can translate this to other things, you know, light bulbs. Okay, chrome it up. So here we have, this isn't done in a step-by-step, but because it's just black, grey and white, hopefully if you have a heart shape you can follow where I've put the black marker, the grey faded down to achieve this effect, because we're not mixing colours here. We're literally using black, solid black marker and a grey pencil, going from dark to light, pressing hard to tickling the page. And don't forget, chrome is like a mirror, so will reflect. So if you do have chrome, you could always put a reflection of something that's coloured next to it, like I have here. And then glass look teardrops. I think this one's really handy because there are lots of shapes. This could be roof tiles, bird feathers, as I've put here, mermaid scales. There are lots of teardrop type shapes in books, so you know this could be handier than just a simple tear shape itself. Okay, so we're on to the gems. I know lots of people like gems, would like to colour gems. Some people can do them, some people don't know what to do. It's all a case of learn and practice. Let me just align the book. So I've got lots of different gems in here, and it doesn't even have to be an actual gem on a colouring page. It could be just a shape. There's a circle or there's an oval. What do you do with it? Well, you can turn that into a gem if you wish. So we have, and obviously you can change the colours. You could actually apply the oval colours of the blues onto the circular gem. And again, these are ones I coloured in myself, photographed and put in the book. Glossy red heart. I'm sure I know there are lots of hearts in lots of colouring books, and it's nice to be able to make them pop off the page and make them look 3D and glossy. And here I've also put how to add texture on them. A lot of this, I mean, I think these look great when they're done, but hopefully a lot of this will be inspiring and, you know, get you to experiment. Crystals. I've seen a lot of crystals in colouring books. So, and again, I've shown the steps in the sort of blue and purple tones, but there's no reason you can't change those and do red ones, pink ones, green crystals. A ruby. And here we have more gemstones, turning a tear shape into a faceted gemstone. Glassy bugs, glassy gem bugs. We've got a ladybird and a beetle. Glassy orange fish. And just to show you, I tried this. This is a page from my first ever colouring book, actually, Inky Ocean. And so I've used the glassy fish step by steps to do all these fish. Yes, that's a lot of fish. I also put the pearls in there, which is here, and the bubbles, which we've passed, and I think that is, you know, really nice, bright and effective. So that's just to show you how you can apply these techniques to other colouring book pages. Polished amber gems, a black diamond, and galactic effect gem. But this is on the side, because not all gems in books are going to be from, you know, the top view. And then we've got practice pages for everything we've just passed. Practice more gems. Ooh, lovely, the sun's come out. Backgrounds. Snowfall. This is step by step how to create snowfall using pen, correction fluid and pastels, and then a white gel pen or Posca pen or white jelly roll, or you can use paint with a fine brush to create the effect. Then we have stained glass window effect, which I think is something that just takes a page to the next level. If you're scared of doing backgrounds and extra things on your pages, I would suggest you colour your colouring book pages, photograph them, and then you can always try another technique on them, and you've got the photograph of the original if you go wrong. I mean, I'm an artist, and actually that's what I do sometimes. You know, I like to experiment. So this is steps of how to give flat colouring a boost. So flat colouring is just flat colours, and then what happens if you were to add a bit of white highlights, you know, takes you through these steps right through to adding background and dots and stars and glints. Just shows you the difference that these little steps can make a difference to making, you know, your pictures pop. A red sunset over blue water. Not everybody is going to have oil pastels, I understand that, but if you do, I mean, you only need a couple of blues, 2 blues literally, to make this, and the sun area is in pastels, but it really will look beautiful. The oil pastel just really, yeah, it will look beautiful and great for a space where you've got, you know, a blank area in the middle. This picture here is, well, it's actually a crop, but it's one from Inky Ocean, which I did this in the centre, and yeah, no, it looked effective. Pastel backgrounds with paper masking, different things you can achieve for different background effects. And then we have shimmering, rippling ocean water. I don't know whether this looks complicated, but it's actually quite fun to do. You do need some white craft paint, you know, a little tub of craft acrylic paint, or but it's actually really fun to do. Wax resist. In this, I've only literally, as an example, done squiggles of wax, but you could do so much. You could do intricate designs, you could do a lace design, you could do circles, anything. You know, all you need is a candle. I think most people probably have a candle in their home. Obviously some paint, watery paint. And then we've got stars, fairy dust trails, which are magical trails you can apply not just to a fairy. Wood grain. There's wood all over. Wood's a really difficult thing to do, you know, without getting overly complicated. So hopefully I've provided a way to create a good wood effect, which actually I'll show you on this piece. So this is not in the book, but it is a piece that's on my website in the Colorist special effects section, which you can download to print. It's an addition to the book. So I've done a wood effect here. I mean, everything in here is literally in the book. This water, we've just passed, there we go. We've just passed that water. I know it doesn't look as dark, but yeah, we just passed in the sunset. So if you want to have a go at this, it's on my website, helenclaireart.co.uk, and you can feel free to download it and get extra practice from the techniques in the book. See, bow on there, heart, cherry. Okay, so, and then we've got paint drips, which is quite fun and artistic if you want to try to paint drip. But actually this also applies to the wax candle. There's a wax strip coming down on the candle, I'll show you in a moment. And you can use this same technique on a coloured wax strip. Rubbings and dots. This is just a way to create and inspire you to do, you know, try with backgrounds. Shadows. A pretty night sky. Marker pen background using the hand antibacterial hand gel. Fireworks. These are neon gel pens for the fireworks, but normal gel pens would work. I've used neon because obviously it's brighter for bright fireworks. Another practice page. Okay, so you could do wood here. You can do the roses. You've got the candle, the lantern, the balloon. We've done the clouds, the present, the heart, the fish, and this water, sky. The water you can, you know, use whichever of the methods you like. Obviously these are, you know, sort of mountains. But yeah, hopefully I'd like to see that coloured, and the dress. Hopefully people have fun with that. Did I knock the camera then? So here we have a colour wheel. The idea is you colour it in, as it says, And then experiment, wreck the page, have lots of fun, add streaks of white and paint, add air bubbles, and just experiment and try out some of these techniques. There's also a bit about colours, you know, these are the warm colours, these are the cool colours, yeah, just, and what warm and cool colours, you know, sort of mean. So just have fun, wreck it, pull it out of the book, or use a scissors or scalpel with an adult supervision, and just have fun. Test colours, so you can try out primary colours together, cold colours, you know, blues and greens as we've seen on here, autumn colours, and just see what pencils work or pens work and don't work for you, or give you the effect that you're after. And then here we have signature cards. The idea is you can colour them, cut them out, sign your name, back them with a bit of cardstock, you know, maybe have a pretty red card behind it or metallic. And then when you're photographing a page that you've coloured in, you can put your card at the side, which says coloured by Helen, or coloured by whatever your name is. So, and obviously I've done that English and the US spelling. And then just at the back we've got colour charts, and some of these are back to back for pencils, and then I've done some in case you have Sharpies, pens that will bleed through. It's just sometimes nice to be able to, you know, take, you know, colour and then write what it is, which is canary, oh, I'm messing this up completely, I'm on an angle. Canary yellow, Prismacolor, and the number, but you get the idea. And I've split it down so that you can, you know, colour the whole thing, or if you've got more pencils and pens in your set, you can go half and half. So that is the book, but I'm just going to show you, I don't know how long this video's been so far. Okay, so here are just some things that I have coloured to show you. So I coloured these lips, okay. So you might notice there's a bit of a shimmer. Now on one of the other pages, I mean I do on some pages, you know, say for a glossy look try a sweep of nail polish or PVA glue, but on another page I've also mentioned having some shimmer nail polish. This is a very fine glitter clear polish, and on here I put it on this page and it just gives an extra little touch to the lips. So another one I've done, find the page. Okay, the rose, some of you might have seen this in some of the colouring groups and on my Facebook Helen Claire Art page. The rose, so I've done the pretty frosted edges and a water drop from one of the other pages. We did water drops. Okay, this one. Okay, so here we've got two. I've done a glowing candle and I added a bit of one of the backgrounds here, and then this crown, but I've also coloured this as the pearl, and for some reason I really like the pearl, really do. These spheres are done from the starting pages where you learn about colouring spheres and boxes. So yeah, that's quite pretty. And where am I up to next? Okay, crystal. Is that, can you see that? So this is glinting crystals, or I call them glinting or magical crystals. This is mine, and obviously you've got lots of white highlights on here with a Posca pen or a white gel pen. So shading a bit of a background helps to make the white stand out more, because white, I mean that white glint on a white piece of paper obviously wouldn't show up whatsoever. So I think that's everything I've coloured in, but just to show you quickly a bit of shading, because not everyone finds shading easy. I'm just going to very quickly, I mean I do try and explain it as best I can in down to earth terms. I mean you literally, you can do either the scumbling, I mean I mix it up, scumbling. I'm just going to do this as fast as I can. Oh, one of my dogs just jumped for some reason. I'm not going to go all the way across because I just want to do enough to show you the idea. So this is a red pencil. I'm using Prismacolors. At the moment, Prismacolor pencils are my favourites. They're a soft core pencil. And yeah, I do like polychromos as well, but Prismas I've kind of swung towards. I was persuaded to try them by some colorist friends. And okay, so I've gone from pressing hard a saturated red to down to a tickle of the page. Scumbling actually really helps to reduce noticeable marks, you know, gives a more even coverage, but you do what's, you know, comfortable for you. So now I'm going to go with the yellow. Yellow's lighter than red, so I'm going to press harder. I should have done more red, pulled it across, but I'm just wary of the time. So I'm pressing harder. Well, what we'll do then, since I'm messing this up, I'll tickle that down. I don't like to go like that. I usually like to use a tissue actually, in case you never know whether you've used a gel pen and something's a bit wet. So I'm going to tickle that down. Now I would press harder over the red to blend it in. Basically with blending you want a seamless transition between each colour, and some colours are easier to blend together than others, which I've explained here. Ones that basically have a shared hue are easier to blend. So I'm going to go over the orange with yellow. So in this we're going from red to orange to yellow. I should have taken the red further, sorry, I'm doing this off the cuff in the video. Okay, and I'm pressing hard on the yellow because it's lighter. If I was to press hard on red here, you know, it'd be too harsh over the yellow. Okay, so that's a very rough blending, but you know, don't be afraid to go back over lightly with a colour. You can always go over again. You know, this paper, I colour on this paper, and it really does take, you know, several layers of pencil absolutely fine. I'm causing a shadow here. Okay, that will do. I just want to show you one last thing. On this page I do explain here about burnishing, and also here. Burnishing, pressure shading in white, it's exactly the same thing, and it helps you to blend. Always start with the lightest colour and you pressure shade, and it helps blend. It also pushes the colour into the grain of the paper and smooths out white flecks. But always go from light to dark. If I started there and then went there, I would transfer red, I know that's yellow, I would transfer red pigment to here. That's not what I want to do. And I do mention burnishing throughout my book. I don't say it on every single page, but on lots of these pages you can always, to help blend the colours, you can always burnish. And I know burnishing can sometimes dull the colour slightly, but there is no reason, because I do it, why after burnishing you cannot again go over, oops, working at an angle here. You can always go over again. Okay, I'm pressing hard there and going lighter, tickling, going lighter here, you know, and I'm going over the top to get a richer, saturated colour. Okay, and if I want to, I can go over again with a bit more orange, tickling down towards the yellow. I sometimes actually pressure shade over things, which I've said in some of the pages, in yellow pencil, which works really well, gives it a lovely, lovely warmth, particularly to these types of colours, reds, orange. Okay, so there we go, that's a bit of shading, burnishing, well, shading we did. It's going from dark, pressing hard, down to a tickle. That's shading and gradients. And again, it shows you. And then if I wanted to, let me make sure I've got no pigment on here, yellow. Well, there is yellow on there, never mind. Always go from the light to the dark, or make sure you've cleaned your nib. Anyway, and also one other thing I would say, besides putting a sheet of paper underneath to reduce impressions, or in case you pick up a Sharpie or some pen, it does go through, put a sheet underneath, and I tend to put a piece of kitchen paper or just ordinary copy paper, because I don't want to smudge, you know, I don't necessarily start here and work down. I might do a heart here, then a gem there in a colouring page. So to save me smudging and rubbing things, I do tend to put a sheet or kitchen roll there. So I think that's it. Explain my book. How long have I been going for? Maybe I could do one more thing if I can find. Maybe I'll try the fish, because that won't take up. Right, very quickly. This is going to look a mess because I'm working fast. I'll just do the body. Well, okay, then we've got, I'm putting in orange. Orange, I'm following the guide. I don't know if you can, yep, you can see. Oh dear, I've got both my dogs here next to me, and they're like shadows, they don't leave my side. And I don't know if you can hear or not, but Buddy, my male dog, they're both 11 and a half, but yeah, he's in a deep sleep, doing a big snore. Aren't you? Right, blend over with the yellow. Again, these are Prismacolor pencils, which I do really like, but you know, you work with the pencils. You have people work with whichever pencils they prefer. Okay, we're going to go for the vibrant red. Going over the lines here. We're still recording? Yes. Yeah, I'm not an expert on recording. I'm on my iPhone at the moment, which I've not recorded on before, so hopefully it works out. Yep, he's snoring again. So yeah, this is the red going over. And again, I've got all the steps here, but they are guidance, you know. There's no reason why now I can't go back over and think, well, actually, I want to pull that orange down a little bit further. These are guides which will help you, but I can't, you know, do it for you. It's to guide you so that you can judge for yourself with your eye, with the page in front of you, how it's going. Okay, then we want the dark red. Just trying to grab my pencil, so we're on this stage here. Oops, that went wrong. That's okay. Get away with that. Right. Dark red. And it does, let me go over with a bit more red. Okay, I could do with, ideally I should colour these, shouldn't I? I haven't done it in the book because obviously I'm not going to show you how to do everything. But, oh dear, right, my second dog, Millie, my girl dog, she's started snoring. So I've got 2 snorers in the room with me. I don't know if the microphone's picking that up. They snore most of the day, basically, and during the night, and I can hear it from my bedroom. Yeah, they're really, really loud, but I love them to bits. Right, I'm going to go over, blend these really quickly. I would like to have left a bit of white in the middle, but that would, I'm just trying to do this really quick. Okay, well that will do just to show you. I mean, you can add a bit of dark, you can add a bit of black there, or a darker shade of red if you, depends how many shades of colours you've got in your kit. If you don't have lots of shades, then go for black. And then I'm not going to bother with all the fins, but I have to come down here to do a circle around the eye, and then whoops, head banging the camera. Yeah, bird, I know you want your dinner. They're hungry, it's dinner time. I think they've given up on me and fallen asleep. Usually I do 2 layers of white gel pen or Posca pen or white jelly roll, whichever you prefer. But anyway, that just gives you a bit of an idea. And as you can see, I coloured all these fish in the same technique. But please don't get mixed up. This page is from Inky Ocean, my first colouring book, and I've used the tutorial to colour them in. But there are lots of fish that you can practice on this page, and there are some more fish on the practice page here. Anyway, so that's my book. I'm going to close it before that's dried. I'll hold it open. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I hope you enjoyed the book. I am working on a second book to follow up from this with more exciting things for you to colour and practice on the pages. So yes, I'm going to be hard at it from now on. I've already started on a lot of the pages. And thank you very much for everybody. I've had a great warm reception to this book, and I'm so thrilled. Had a lot of messages that people have enjoyed it, had fun with it, learnt a lot from it, and that's really lovely to hear. So thank you for your support, and okay, I will go and feed the dogs. Have a lovely day. Thank you.